Doug, what
Hey,
the
Bill.
heck, hey, what the heck is happening? I'm I'm watching LinkedIn. I've been talking to clients, and everyone is going with this reopening plan. And all of these plans are containing measures for social distancing. There's a lot of sanitary precautions to the point where I think it's not convenient anymore just to go at the office for that. It's meaningless. And I'm just
Mm.
wondering if it's not, well, if we're not just turning all crazy, if it's not too restrictive, if we lost the purpose of the office into this. What do you think?
I think, Bill, we're seeing lots of different approaches to the reopening of the offices. There is an underlying pattern that, yes, they all include some form of physical distancing. We're seeing companies that had a free address policy when it came to the assignment of desks, moving back to assigned desks. We're seeing some companies remaining with unassigned desks, but you get assigned that desk for the day. So you can't switch and change. We're seeing some companies put in advanced cleaning regimes for etiquette on the user to clean the desk before they get there, or when they get there, and when they leave as well. So yes, there are a lot of different changes, but the majority of them are looking at reducing the amount of seat capacity by 50%, taking away every second seat. And that is very restricting.
Yeah.
But at the other side of it, you have to see that it's putting in the physical cues to make sure that employees feel that their safety, their hygiene is being addressed, and
Yeah,
they're in this situation.
I know, but well, when you look at this, it feels it's completely real estate driven. It's facility management driven and not business driven. Because at some point, if you were in office, there were probably a purpose of going in the office in the first place. You know?
Yeah, so I think from that perspective, you're absolutely right to question it, because if you look at the way that business is carried out, business is done, and you look at the past that we've been in through this period of social from home, and we're working from, well, we're all quarantined, so we're
Yeah.
all businesses still happening. So
Yeah.
let's understand what is happening that is good. How much have we been able to actually get done through, even with all the additional stress that we have at home with childcare and homeschooling and all those additional concerns and impacts we have? We have to actually ask the question, what purpose should we be coming back to the office for from a business point of view? And from my perspective, that is for engagement, for getting clarity, for having for coming together, get clarity on what needs to be done, get agreement on all the activities that are being done, and move that team forward. Now, that activity is an engagement activity, not a social distance or a distancing measure activity. It's not a singular individual activity. It's an activity for people to come to the office and come together, get things done, and then move away again
Yeah.
and do their extra activities,
But
which calls into question the design of the office, because today it's desks and meeting rooms for individual work.
true.
If the future is come together in engagement, that would question, do we have to have put so much focus on this distancing measures between desks when that's not the physical built environment that we need?
Well, even with mentioning the furniture that we need to put in place of the room, what I'm seeing right now is a lot of companies are currently working from home, and it's okay. I mean, it doesn't prevent them from working. It's okay. There's probably a slowdown in their business. They got a lot of
Well, let's
issues.
find out where is it slowing down and see whether we can adjust, or is that the part of the business process that needs to happen in the office? Is that the part where people have to come together to get that clarity? Because there's many things that are happening perfectly well at home. And so, in fact, I would argue the case there are elements of the my work process that are fundamentally enhanced because I've got the focus and concentration of being at home and I'm lucky enough to have an office at home. So from that perspective, we look at a future where children will go back to school, some of the other burdens that are happening right now through the day with all the different things that we're having to deal with in quarantine, as those relax, I think home working is going to certainly increase as a result of the experience we've all had.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't blame them. I think we all know it's a very complex situation, but you're a workplace strategist. What would you do what would you do in a situation like that?
So in a situation like this, I fully understand why the physical distancing thing is happening right now, and I think it's the right thing to do at this point in time. But it's certainly not a long-term strategy. It's not even a medium-term strategy. It's an immediate reaction, real estate and facilities driven.
Say we're alive.
A workplace strategist, I need to engage with the business. I need to understand how is that business going to perform in future, and then do the work, do the analysis to work out, is what we have built today appropriate for that business? Or do we need to architect a completely different physical built environment because their business process has changed fundamentally?
Shouldn't you ask the people? I mean, who should you ask for their opinion? Because it feels, I mean, it's not the job of facility manager.
All three levels, Bill. You've got to ask at the leadership. You got to really ask at the middle management, because they're the ones having to deliver their team's effectiveness. And you need to ask the teams as well. How are they getting their stuff done? Yeah. You know, this period of time has done nothing but produce huge amounts of creativity. Now's the time to harness that creativity and understand if we can do better in future through it.
Yeah, you're right. Well, thank you, Doug. Very interesting. And we talk about things again tomorrow.
Cool. Cheers, Bill.